Well, I'd like to thank the Academy. No. Eric Williamson is a speaker, author, and most notably, an expert jerk who turned jerk expert. With 2 decades of professional development experience, speaking, and most importantly, real life, hands-on in the trenches business experience in both the private and public sector, his view of success is inherently different. Eric appreciates and shares with listeners that no matter how talented, smart, or gifted you are, and no matter what role you serve or title you carry, our level of success is not measured by the work we produce. It is measured based on the relationships that we build. To that end, he works with organizations to build successful leaders by building strong customer and workplace relationships. Eric is author of the book, How to Work with Jerks, Get Stuff Done with People You Can't Stand. This book offers a roadmap for you to build relationships with people that you work with and interact with and serve. Organizations such as SIM, the SANS Institute, the Association of Talent Development, ATD, and the Society of Human Resource Management, SHRM, have partnered with Eric when they wanted to improve employee engagement, productivity, and morale. Eric received national attention in NBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS News with his experience in leadership development, stating that emotional intelligence is a key component of being a successful leader and is the most important skill that will help you thrive in today's ever-changing business environment. Eric is excited to be speaking with you today to share his tips and strategies, not only how to work with jerks, but how to prevent you from becoming one. It's with great pleasure that I'd like to introduce.
Thank you. The worst jerk that I ever worked for occurred several years ago. And she was more than a micromanager. She was also a narcissist. Anyone here ever worked with a micromanager or a narcissist? It ain't fun, is it? She was the kind of person who people couldn't stand or they feared. For me, it was both. I couldn't stand her and I feared her. And she just loved to drop her title in people's faces. She would say things like this: as your director, I want you to do this. As your director, I need you to do that. So this one day, I was responsible for putting this report together because our executives, they were coming into town for their quarterly visit. And as I'm putting this report together, I swear, no lie, my director was standing above me, telling me what information to put in and what information to leave out this report. But see, I come across some information that I know our executives want to know about. They just talked about it 2 weeks ago, and they were expecting an update during their visit. So your boy here took the initiative to start including that information in the report, being a good worker bee. And as I'm typing this information in the report, my director looks down, she goes, no, what are you doing? Leave that information out. I don't want you to put that in there. So I look up at her and I say, but boss, aren't the execs expecting it? Shouldn't we do it? And I thought that was confirmation that I was doing a good job. So I start typing away again. Then all of a sudden I get this tap on my shoulder. She goes, stop typing and look up at me. Stop typing and I look up at her. And she points down at me and she goes, you work for me. And as your director, I'm telling you to leave that information out. Are we clear? Do you think I left that information out? Who said no? Who said no? I told you I was afraid of her, all right? I did not. I did exactly what I was told. I did not want to get caught between her crosshairs. So later that week, the execs, they come into town for their quarterly visit. I'm at my desk, typing away on another project. I get a call at my desk, and it's my director. She goes, Eric, These execs would like to talk to you about your report. I'm thinking, yes, my 15 seconds of fame have finally arrived. I get FaceTime with the bigwigs. So as I leave my desk, I walk into the executive conference room. I barely step 2 feet in there. My director goes, Eric, these execs are wondering where a specific piece of information is inside the report, and it's not in there. I want you to go back to your desk and don't come back until it's in the report. Are we clear? What would you have done if you were in my shoes? What's that? You would have sworn at her? Okay. What else? What are some of the other things you would have done? You would have just left? You would have called her out? Yeah? Okay. I'm not going to stand on that soapbox, huh? Well, let me tell you something. I love all the examples that you just brought up, all of them. And I wish I had the courage and the confidence to do, maybe consider what Lori said, or some of the other folks said over here. But, I'm sorry, what's your name? I did what Naomi did. That's exactly what I did. But Naomi, let me tell you something. At that moment, well, you know what? You're right, because check this out. At that moment, when I went back to my desk, at that moment, I stopped giving a damn. I became referred to today as a quiet quitter. That's right, I was a quiet quitter well before you all started making it popular today. No, I became a quiet quitter at that moment. And maybe some of you are having difficulty dealing with employees who are doing the same thing, who are also quiet quitting. Or maybe some of you are just frustrated working with jerks and you're having a difficult time leading your hybrid teams. Or maybe some of you are just really overwhelmed. I heard about that earlier today. Some of you might be really overwhelmed, doing more with less, and you're struggling because you're overwhelmed working with jerks. Or maybe some of you don't even know where to go when it comes to working with jerks, but you know that morale is suffering, productivity is suffering as well. But you know what? You all are in the right place.